Now, once again, here is Bryant Gumbel.
We move on now to a story that you may have read about. It's the story of a white cop who stopped a black driver with dubious cause on a Florida highway just over a year ago. Though such actions are sadly all too common, this one is especially noteworthy because in this case, the black driver was himself a cop, a high-ranking cop from Dade County. The issues involved tell us a great deal about the limits of authority and race and how far removed we really are from a colorblind society. Kristen Jeannette-Meyers details a now notorious case of highway justice.
You're a liar, man. I gave a signal, I gave a left turn, but I went around that truck, I saw you guys sitting there. Why would I violate law and see you guys sitting there?
A dark night on the Florida Turnpike. A black motorist erupts in a fit of anger after being pulled over by a white cop. The incident sparks debate about the different ways blacks and whites perceive justice.
He decided he was going to arrest me, and I said, for what?
Tonight, we'll take a closer look at what happened and why. April 9, 1997, Aaron Campbell was driving through Orlando when he was stopped by Orange County Sheriff's Deputy Richard Mankiewicz for an alleged traffic violation.
The violations that I've witnessed.
What violation?
State of signal lane change and...
Liar.
From the start, both men were looking at this situation from two completely different points of view.
I was taken off a little bit the way he got out of his car. When he came back initially at me, he was started cursing right off the bat at me. It was dark out. He was very angry.
No, look at the video. There was absolutely no sound for a long time. As I got closer to him, I asked him, I said, what did you stop me for? And then he said something like, you changed lanes and didn't give a signal. The more I talk at that point, the madder I got.
Give me my license, bitch. You ain't giving me no ticket.
That is not the Aaron Campbell most people know.
I don't generally get that angry. There may have been one or two times in my life that I have been that angry.
When Campbell's wife Diana saw the police video on television later that night, even she was stunned.
I was shocked at his language because I've never heard him say these words. And I was like, why? I just wanted to know. And I would still like to ask them, why? Why?
What did happen to make Aaron Campbell act so out of character that night?
We want to tell you how much we appreciate you.
He has spent a career enforcing the law, not breaking it.
Thank you for putting your life on the line for the people of Dade County for these 27 years. God bless you.
Campbell is a highly decorated and respected major with the Miami-Dade Police Department, a distinguished officer trained to control his emotions in crisis situations. What upset Aaron Campbell so deeply that night was his belief that he was being pulled over because he fit the profile of a drug runner. He thinks he was stopped because he was a black man driving an expensive car with Miami license plates down a part of the Florida Turnpike that is a known drug corridor. Why did you pull him over that night?
The reason I stopped him was for obscure tag violation and failure to signal lane change.
I knew for a fact that I had not and was not committing any traffic violation at all.
Mankiewicz is part of an elite squad trying to catch drug couriers on the Florida Turnpike. One of their tactics is they stop drivers who are breaking traffic laws and then determine whether they fit a drug courier profile. So you look for indicators?
Correct. Indicators such as nervousness, conflicting stories, anything like that we look for.
The police do have a legal right to search if the indicators are there, but it is illegal for race to be a factor. Did you know before you pulled him over that night that Aaron Campbell was black?
No, I didn't. The windows on his car are tinted. Even with my headlights on, you can't see what's inside the vehicle. So there was no way I could tell if he was black or white.
We went on patrol with Mankiewicz, and we couldn't tell either. In fact, the statistics support him. 71% of the people stopped on that stretch of the turnpike last year were white. But here's the rub. An investigation by the Orlando Sentinel newspaper found that once pulled over, blacks are 6.5 times more likely to be searched than whites. Aaron Campbell was not going to let that happen to him, but he had no idea that the consequences would be so great for doing this, ripping his license off Mankowicz's clipboard.
Why did you do it?
I can't explain it. It was an impromptu, instinctive thing that I just did.
No person has a right to touch another person, however so slightly. If that was the case, everyone would be hitting everyone in this country. We can't have that.
The incident escalates from there.
Signal 44.
Mankowicz calls for backup.
Were you afraid?
At the times that when he grabbed the license out of my hand, I became afraid. Dark highway at nighttime, of course I'm afraid.
Campbell demands that Mankowicz call a supervisor.
You better call your supervisor just because you didn't give me a ticket. I did not violate.
In Campbell's mind, he is just waiting, non-threateningly, on the guardrail. Meanwhile, the officers repeatedly warn him to stop resisting.
Stop resisting, sir! Stop resisting!
Resisting what? I wasn't under arrest. I hadn't committed a crime.
Mankowicz says Campbell committed battery when he grabbed his license. That impulsive behavior led to this. Watch the right side of your screen. A hand comes at Campbell. He is sprayed with pepper spray.
My eyes shut down, and because my eyes shut down, I turned around and my back was to them. I was staggering. I staggered to the point where I staggered into the roadway.
Campbell is tackled by one of the backup officers.
That's when I turned to run. I was in fear. I was in fear of my life.
Out of the view of the camera, one of the backup officers is aiming a 9mm semi-automatic pistol directly at Campbell.
I looked back, and I could just see the red pulsating laser beam. And I knew what that was. I knew what that was. And I thought to myself, this guy's gonna kill me. This guy's gonna kill me for a traffic violation.
When I found out about that, I really got upset. And all I could see was him. Laying on the road dead. And what kind of explanation would they have given me when I know that my husband is not like that? He was angry because of what they were doing to him.
Stop right there, guys.
Campbell ended up getting arrested that night, charged with 2 misdemeanors and 4 felonies. He was suspended from his job without pay. If convicted, he faced up to 5 years in prison. Then, a way out. The sheriff's office comes up with a deal. They'll drop the felony charges. All Campbell has to do is say he's sorry.
Never did we ever want to see him spend a day in jail. We tried to work this out, and all we wanted is an apology.
So Aaron Campbell is being offered a way out. Will he take it? The answer when we come back.